So in this video I'm going to be showing you how I personally make this twisted yarn dreadful that it's one of those tie-in things that you put in your hair like that, but I shall show you how to do that at the end of the video. So far I just have the one. I'll be making the other one in this video. So for this you will need, of course, your yarn in whatever colours you will be wanting to use, and scissors, just standard, doesn't need to be fabric scissors, a safety pin, something that you will need to stitch your individual dreads onto. I'd recommend not using something that's elastic, because you will be stitching into this over and over and over, and something that's elastic will probably not be able to hold all of that. So I'm using this, I think it's a shoelace, I seem to remember. Yes, shoelace. It's a kind of a woven one like that. Tiny bit of stretch, but not too much. And a scrap of fabric, a needle and thread. It doesn't actually matter what colour you use because you won't be able to see the stitching if all goes to plan. And of course I've got these two here, and most importantly, something to tidy up after yourself with. And before I go any further, I will have to mention that it's quite labour intensive and time consuming in order to make these, so you'll need to be prepared for that. So in order to make your individual dread, you will need to measure out the right length, obviously. So your first measure here will be how long approximately you want it to be. So to measure out the right length, we'll need to fold it in half so you have two strands, and then just take this bit here from where you've folded it to and fold it in half again. So that right here is going to be 4 lengths, and then again at the end like that, and there, and just snip like that. So that is all the yarn that you will need. So if I just demonstrate. From here we will be twisting it, and then it will be in half again, so that's around the length that it will be. I personally don't measure these things, I just kind of do it as I go along. But yeah, so you have your length, 2 cut ends like that, and 1 loop. I like to just snip that loop like that. So we have 4 ends like that, and then we'll need this loop to put our safety pin in, like that. And it's quite good if you just pull it into the bottom of the safety pin like that, keeps it quite secure. And now this is what you're going to need your scrap fabric for, to tie it round something. Anything will do really. I would recommend a door handle, something like that, nice and solid. I am actually going to use the sofa. I do not recommend that, don't do that. Especially if the furniture isn't yours, like if you live with your parents or something. So use the scrap fabric method, so just tie that around something and then you'll pin it to it, like so. I'm not actually going to pin it, but pin it to it, and then I'll show you what you need to do once you've pinned it. Here we are. I have pinned it to the sofa, as you can see. Again, don't do this, use the scrap fabric. So from here, all we need to do now is just to twist it right from the end, from about here-ish, and just keep twisting, bearing in mind the longer the length is, the more you're going to need to twist it. So once it's looking like a solid length, then you can just let it out a little bit, like this, and then see how much it's twisted, like that. And if you're happy with that, Then you can take off the safety pin. Of course, if it's looking a bit loose to you, then you can just keep twisting more, and if it does look too twisted, then you can just grab, say here, and just let go of this, and then grab again and just pull it out so it's loosened up a little bit. So I'm just going to unpin it from here, and then you need to fold it in half, however you want to do that. I just do that like that, and then once it's like this, we just shake it like that, and then it should look something like this. If it's a bit bumpy or uneven, don't worry, just smooth it down like that, or just pull the end, and you should have something that looks like that. Okay, back to normal angle. So, I forgot to mention this at the start, but to make this easier, you can use a hair pin, whatever you call this, of some sort, and then at the end here, when we've still got the safety pin attached, you just put it like that, so it holds it in place for us, and then we can just remove the safety pin nice and easily. Put that down there, and then from here we are going to need our needle and thread. Now for this step you can just use another bit of the yarn, just like this, just a little length, chop it off, and then you can just simply tie it around the top. If you don't like to do that much sewing, but I prefer for it to be very secure, so from this bit we can just put the needle there like that, and then pull it, and then make a loop, pull tight, and then we'll just wrap it around a few times. Here we can take this off to make it easier for ourselves. And then just tie it off as you would with any other sewing. And then that's it. And then you can just leave it like that if you want to, but you can always trim the excess if you like, and just be sure not to cut too close to where you've sewn or tied it. And so that's just one length, and then you'll just need to repeat that for all of the lengths that you need. Once you've made all of your individual strands, you'll need to start sewing them onto your shoelace or whatever else you might use, starting with the longest ones, so they're the first ones to go on, and then the next layer, the next shortest layer, you'll sew over the top, and then sew on until you have all of them sewn to this bit. Of course you can always go back in and make a few more lengths of whatever length you want if you feel the need to add more volume. But yeah, that's basically everything you need to know. I will get back to you once I have sewn this together. And here are both finished. As you might be able to tell, I did have to use a slightly different shade of red to finish this one off, but I'm not too bothered about that. So, I will tie my hair up and show you how to put these ones in. Okay, so once you have your hair up in fairly even bunches, then you're going to need to take one of these, which this is the end of a pair of tights. You'll need two of them obviously. You just cut the toes off and use this. So, because my hair's quite long, I don't actually put all of it into the bun, so I twist it a little bit just to make it easier, and then wrap it around a few times, leave the end out, and put this over, grab another hairband, And make sure this covers all of your hair so none is sticking out. And then with this, I just put that away. And then repeat for the other side. Okay, now once you have your hair like this, you're going to need to take one of your hairfuls, and it's easier with the first one if you do it like this, and then just tie it on. Nice and tight. I generally find with these you only need to pull it once like that and then flip it over. And then the other one. This one's a little more difficult to position, but okay. So, there we are. And of course if you want to just move it around a bit, style it up a bit. I usually like to keep them on separate sides, but you can of course put bits across like that if you want to. So there we go. That's how they look. Yeah, I definitely like how these turned out. So yeah. Now I just want to quickly show you another pair that I'm currently working on. These ones are a lot longer. These go down to my waist. And I just wanted to show you quickly how you can make double-ended ones. One end will end up looking like this, so just to show you from the back, I've sewn it over the top like that, and then that one there, it's just got the normal end like all of these ones, but then the other end, if you just sew it round and then leave a little tufty bit, I quite like how that looks. And then it just adds a bit more texture, I guess, to each one. I've done two on this one. There and there. And also, in terms of decoration, for example here, I've just wrapped a bit of fabric around it, crisscross like that, just to add to it. And on these ones, I've got a little bead there as well, which obviously you can just add beads and stuff and whatever else you want to it to just customise them a bit more. So yeah, that's everything I guess. So hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.